Dear colleagues, ni hao, good day. I'm glad to welcome everyone at our event. Our section is called Oriental Express, New Opportunities for Import and Export. I would like to introduce our speakers today. Mr. Zhang Ci, the CEO of the international company Сянь-Э. We're happy to greet you here. Lena Izotova. She's a famous person in Bashkortostan, especially to our foreign participants of many countries. First Deputy Minister of Congressional Activities for Foreign Economic Relations. Also, I would like to introduce Mr. Li Yanzun, the CEO of the Chinese Center for the Development of International Trade, and also our guest as a speaker today, Dias Kalimulin. He is the CEO of Asian Import-Export Company. Dear colleagues, let's build our work in the following way. So our speakers will, each of them will make a brief introduction. If you have some reports, we are eager to listen to them. Then we will begin to our Q&A session from the floor, some comments, and we will discuss what is new opportunities of export and import. I would like to add also a couple of words. A very interesting headline, Oriental Express. All of us read novels by detectives, by Agatha Christie, Oriental Express. As you remember from in the 19th century, it was a very fast train between Paris and Constantinople, or Istanbul later. And so what made this train special? To connect two large centers between each other, so that you could quickly travel there. And recalling the story of Oriental Express, I think all of you are very well remember that there was a murder and investigation into it, and there were a lot of accidents with Oriental Express. But I'm sure that when it comes to our Oriental Express, there might be some incidents. Well, the politics is complicated and it's very difficult to predict. But so, I would like to discuss specifically our Oriental Express, our direction in Asia, towards Asia, and mostly towards China. So we have very dignified speakers today who have long-term experience in their areas. They have their own business, they are running their own companies, and they can tell you the actual situation, and they will raise problems which need to be resolved. We are the people representing two great states, Russia and China, and I'm sure there are guests from other countries. But speaking about Russia and China, I think we should follow the trend of the agreements concluded between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping, which took place just lately, two leaders of Russia and China. And I myself work in Beijing, and I listen to the opinion of Chinese citizens and entrepreneurs. They say that Russia and China are friends and also economic partners. From my own experience, I know that there are some specifics, but I hope that our session today, called Oriental Express, New Opportunities for Import and Export, maybe we could address some of the problems today. I hope for fruitful cooperation. I would like to give the floor to one of the most experienced experts in international relations. It's a very important person in the foreign economic. Please give the floor to Lena Izotova, First Deputy Minister of Foreign Economic Relations and Congress Activity of the Republic of Bashkortostan. Greetings, dear guests, dear participants of our strategic session. I'm happy to see everyone after such an introduction. It's hard because I need to meet the expectations. Well, since we have approached, since we're here in the Trans-Urals region, I think you had time to enjoy the beauties of Bashkortostan already. It's one of the most developed regions of Russian Federation, and it enjoys a very convenient location. We have air routes, we have we have railroads, motorways, and we have a lot of labor resources. As of now, Bashkortostan develops trade relations with 112 countries in total. Irrespective of February events of 22, the foreign economic trade expands, and it has increased compared to last year by 10%. China in this foreign economic trade is in place one, number one place in foreign economic turnover. And it has increased last year by 25%. What do we mostly export? We export engineering, chemical products, foodstuffs, and also we import engineering, chemical industry, steel, textile, fabric, and other products. Speaking about the first quarter of 2023, foreign economic trade grows, and as you can see, it's almost 35%. So there is area, there is room for growth, and we have some products we need to export. So last year, Bashkortostan, seeing the real opportunities for cooperation, mutual cooperation with the PRC, we opened a representative office of Bashkortostan at the Trade Representative Office of Russian Federation. And so Mr. Asadulin here, he manages this representative office, and thanks to him, we have our guests from China here in our session, and they are visiting Trans-Urals region. If we look how cooperation goes, we don't only export, we don't only deliver something, but we also cooperate in electronic platforms, digital platforms. I mean, very famous Alibaba website. Our export center helps local companies to place their products in digital platforms like AliExpress free of charge. We help them to prepare data sheets, and we help them to promote local products in AliExpress and Alibaba platforms. So local entrepreneurs and local businessmen, they can use this opportunity with our help and place their products in digital marketplaces. Explains for classic marketplaces, we have halal shop window, we have halal section. It's a special, dedicated platform. Well, there are not many companies so far, only about 30 of them, but still there is room for growth. Those companies from Bashkortostan who are present in this section today, and if you still don't use the services of Export Support Center, you are kindly invited. The Ministry of Foreign Economic Trade and Congressional Activities, Center for Export Support, representatives of Russian Export Support, Renat Manyapov, who is present here. We are willing to help our local companies to export their products, including PRC. If you still don't export, let's begin together. If you are interested in import, we are eager to help you. Which product would you like to buy? We can give consultations and advice. We also help our companies to place their products in IPO, Epinduo, and so Zindun also platform. We provide consultations how to place local Bashkir products in Zindun platform, because each country has special requirements, including packaging, color, design. Each country has its own specifics, and we can provide you with consultations how to enter the market of a certain country. I'm afraid without our assistance, it might be much harder. Mr. Sadulin has said these are the niches of our Oriental Express where to go further. We are ready. What else can we ship to China. It's meat, sub-products, semi-finished products, aluminum, titanium, vegetable oil from China. We are ready to import machines and equipment, plastic, organic chemical compounds, products, etc. So what I mean to say, there are still a lot of opportunities. We are willing to help, looking for new products, looking for new partners. Welcome to our team, the team of exporters. Thank you so much, Elena. I would like to support you here. And by the way, today at 12, today we will have another session which I will be hosting. It is called, let me see, it is called Billion Consumers, How to Enter the Market of China with a product made in Bashkortostan. So what you have said, actually, you have actually hit the bullseye. That's right, I agree. You need to think properly about the package, about mentality. Many people, I hear a lot from Bashkir entrepreneurs, I would like to sell this to China. I tell them, are you sure there is a demand for that? And vice versa. There are a lot of requests from China to buy Chinese wings and heads. But we don't use it. We actually get rid of it. But in China, it's a delicacy. So in this particular session dedicated to marketplaces, we will have a look and we'll decide. Have a look, Lena. This was Lena Izotova. Thank you very much for your detailed overview of our work. Russia, China, Bashkortostan and China. So you have mentioned some of the areas, some of the niches which we can look at. Thank you very much for your invitation, for motivating people. Yes, we have friendship, and friendship should be based on economic basis. And usually the second or third toast in the Chinese dinner, usually, let's earn money. We are living in market economy in the Russian Federation, and it's a normal thing. We shouldn't be afraid of it. China also has market economy, so the foundation for development is to develop economy thanks to trade volume, and it's very helpful. I would like to give the floor to our next speaker, Mr. Li Yanjun. I met him personally in Beijing, and I have a feeling I have met him several years ago. In fact, we just know each other for several months. He is a highly respected person by the Chinese officials and businessmen, an expert in his own field. He heads the China International Trade Development Center. He is the CEO, and he also the chairman of the China's association with the countries of Southeastern Asia and China. The goals of the Chinese Center is to develop business, to develop interaction and cooperation between foreign states and China. But I will tell you a secret. I want to make him work in Russia more, to rearrange, to make him look at Russia more attentively. And I'm sure that Mr. Li Jianzun agrees. He made a serious work preparing for the center. He collected the applications to purchase certain goods in Bashkortostan. Plus, we today have a dedicated session with the head of the Republic, Mr. Khabirov. I'm sure that Mr. Li will tell us about his applications and claims, and we will come up with our counter requirements, and I will share we will reach the point of mutual cooperation. Mr. Li, you have the floor.
I'm happy to be here to this forum, to this Sabantui. I would like to thank our representatives of trade representative of China in Russia. They invited me to the Republic of Bashkortostan, and it's a great honor for me, and I would like to express my gratitude. China and Russia have always been very friendly to each other, cooperated with each other, and we also cooperate in trade. And this year, China, me and the Vice Minister on the 23rd and 24th May, we met, we had a meeting, and the Prime Minister of China and the chairperson of China met the representatives of Russian business and politics, and they discussed our trade relations, and we wanted to make more than 200 billion, and we wanted to change the course and the fundamental of our cooperation, or our further cooperation, and we are ready to create new ways for our cooperation. And I believe that our relations are improving, and they are on the highest, on the top, and we cooperate in many, many fields, and it is improving, including trade that includes some logistics, a lot of logistics, and we are actually cooperating, and we receive the results. And China is a huge country with a huge population, and we need resources, and currently a huge territory of Russia. And there are many natural resources and many forest resources, and they are necessary for our improvement and for our development. This is why gas and LNG is very important for us, and we need to improve this field too, and we hope China and Russia will cooperate, since China doesn't have some resources, but we are ready to cooperate and to give some products to Russian population, and we have biological chemicals, we have a lot of resources, and we can develop it, and the embassy of China in Russia has created a platform that helps to cooperate, helps China and Russia to cooperate, and this trade platform helps us to implement those ways that our leaders created. I will tell you briefly, I told you briefly about my mission here, and I will tell you more in my speech. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Lee. I'm sure we will implement all the things you've said, you've mentioned. In order to do this, we should work together, and I promise that the representative of Russia in China will contact you all the time, will be in touch, and we will cooperate together. Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, I would like to give the floor to our speaker, It is the person who knows exactly all the details of work with China, and I believe that if he tells us his secrets, other entrepreneurs will have a lot of money from his secrets. Good day. It's a pleasure to be here. Our company has been organizing trade, import and export to China for 12 years, and we've been looking for best logistics ways, and we make combined transportation and airplane transportation, and during COVID we supplied many important things for fighting COVID, and our company helps new entrepreneurs who are going to open their companies and who don't know how to prepare technical requirements for China's plants and facilities, and how to supply it in Russia, and how to supply it in Ufa or any other city. We help with all those tasks, and our plan is to create a direct train from Ufa to China and from China to Ufa. Today, on the Russian market, we have only one transport container, and this way is too long, and the other way is the supply by vehicles, and it's also too hard. The record we have this year is the
Все остальные маршруты из ЖД составляют около 2 месяцев.
I think this year we will manage to arrange this direct train, and the shipment term will be less than 30 days, about 21, 23 days, and the cost of transportation will be lower than instead of shipping to Moscow and then paying for shipment to Ufa from Moscow. We will have containers for export, and our exporters will be able to, once a month, absolutely in a comfortable way, to load their products on this train. And today, in order to send goods to China, you need to arrange 50 containers. One shipment includes 50 containers, or you may send it to Moscow first, from where they arrange shipments of 2 containers, except for Rosneft and Salavat oil refinery or Kronospan. These are the major companies. Only they can, usually only they ship using as many as 50 containers. So, but what we would like to do, we would like to make smaller shipments possible, and neighboring regions may join in. We call it express train to China. Thank you so much. Dias. So you've been working with China for quite a long while, and either in Ufa, either in Beijing or in Shanghai, we meet each other. Tell us honestly, you've been working for a long time with China. In terms of clothes, at home, maybe, what is the percentage of Chinese goods? 99 probably. About 80, I think. All the furniture to our office was bought in China. It's pretty looking, and it has a good price, and it's affordable. A lot of appliances, household appliances, for example, keyless entry into the negotiation room, all that is shipped from China, and the quality is very good. You don't even need to look at Japan and Europe. For 13 years, China has become very dear to me. It's my favorite country. My second favorite city after Ufa is Shanghai. And I highly recommend everyone visit China, various cities, various regions. You may find a lot of interesting things. You may improve your business, or you may find parallel business. You may visit high-tech businesses and production facilities. All the Chinese people are very open to negotiations. They eagerly show their technology and share it with us. So I think that our participant will eagerly use your invitation to come to China. Maybe you could assist in some way. Yes, Shanghai is a great city. Well, yes, I agree. My city number one is Ufa, number two is Shanghai. So, Lena, I would like to ask you, you've heard that DIAS working on increasing trade with China, both import and export. Let's hope that this will continue. Yes, indeed, I agree. We actively communicate. We are aware of what is happening in his business. Dear colleagues, with great pleasure, I would like to give the floor to, let me say, a friend of Bashkortostan, Mr. Zhang Zi, the chairman of the board of directors of SAN-E. That's just one of his positions he occupies. He is involved in various types of activities. He is familiar with Bashkortostan, and he befriends with many of its representatives for as many as 15 years. Yes, I would like also to open a secret. He is an honored professor of Ufa State Petroleum Technical University. In WeChat, in his avatar, he has this academic hat. He is proud of it. Mr. Jansi, he speaks Russian, and he visits Ufa more often than I do. And so he is working hard, developing relations between Bashkortostan and PRC in the city of Changsha, a marketplace. He also develops, he assists in many ways. Mr. Jansi, please share with us your thinking. Greetings. I'm happy to be here in Sebai today. I saw a lot of my old friends, and I made new friends. I will just simply tell about how we cooperate with Bashkortostan, and our company is located in city Changsha, province of Hunan. And now we've been cooperating with Bashkortostan for 15 years now, and we also, in the province of Sichuan, we created the first hotel, which is called Pushkin, and a delegation of Sichuan, from the province of Sichuan, visited Ufa at some point, and on the 7th of February, in the city of Changsha, province of Hunan, we created an international oil company, petroleum company, which is dedicated to cooperation with Bashkortostan. We created a trade center. Regarding our cooperation with Russia, it's been 20 years now, including 15 years with Bashkortostan, and we do not limit ourselves with trade or economics. We also have cultural exchange and academic exchange. The Academy of Science of Bashkortostan arranged a lot of events, and also our joint forums. We cooperate with various universities and universities of Bashkortostan, in particular in Ufa and other cities. They cooperate, and University of Sichuan. This is a multi-dimensional cooperation. I repeat, not just economy and trade, but also culture, science. In such provinces as Hunan, Guangdong, the products of Bashkortostan, they enjoy very good sales, and energy products. Also, we cooperate in the sphere of course, oil, gas, and petroleum with such companies as Lukoil and Bashneft. All those companies are they are the subjects of our cooperation. In the city of Zhuhai, which is located near Macau, we have a port which is involved in our cooperation. We have an R&D company. Everyone knows that Hunan, the province of Hunan, the city of Changsha, is the birthplace of Mao Zedong. So if you have time, you are kindly invited to the city of Changsha. Also, it's not just the homeland of Mao Zedong. It's an industrial center. It's a center of machining industry. And actually, the company called Sany from Chanshi, it has its branch office in Moscow. We also invite the Academy of Science of Bashkortostan to participate in our cooperation, and also in our energy sector, in our energy department, which is a part of SCO. You're also kindly invited. Everyone knows that right now in the world, the United States and European Union are trying to press on Russia and China. They try to limit their activities. And in Changsha, we're planning to build a plant which will manufacture chips, microchips. And we all know that microchips, there is a lack of microchips in Russia right now. So we just discussed this before the event. I hope we will strengthen our cooperation. And I would like to tell you briefly about our Chinese-Russian trade center. Today, those goods which are marketed in China successfully, I mean foodstuffs, we import a lot of products, various types of oils, vegetable oil, wheat, confectionery, candy, sweets, and the trade permanently grows. We increase import mostly from Altai and Siberia. Also, at the same time, we import more and more, and also export Russian beer. It's very popular in China, and actually last year we shipped about 50 containers of Russian beer, and it sells very well in China. Right now, all of you know that in China people love samovars. It's a food, very spicy one. It's usually consumed with beer because it's spicy. And as I said, beer sells very well, Russian beer in China. This is just a single example. There are much more. I'm very happy to be here in this forum in the Trans-Urals region. And I would like to say that Russia and China will open a lot of new ways to exchange agricultural products, foodstuffs. We have a lot of various products. We have a lot of trade centers, we have hotels, Pushkin Hotel in Sichuan province, Pushkin Hotel in Changsha, trade center. And our cooperation is becoming multidimensional. I would like to use this opportunity to invite you to our trade center, to the province of Hunan, to the city of Changsha, to visit our trade center, this marvelous city, and look at how we cooperate, what are the conditions, what are the parameters. You are kindly invited thank you very much. You are kindly invited to visit China. Those of you who don't have headsets, please take up the headsets. We have interpretation service. Please, volunteers, assist, please, those who need all the equipment shouldn't be operable. This is Chinese principle. Please make sure you use headsets for simultaneous interpreting. Mr. John C., regarding the products which you like, you said that Chinese people love Russian beer, we love it too. Maybe you can mention some other products which Chinese people love and use and buy eagerly. Well, I would like to say that which is manufactured in Bashkortostan. Well, of course, Bashkir honey is very popular. We shipped a big lot, a big batch, and the feedback was very positive, and the price was quite good. We sold it at an advantage. Chinese New Year, starting from the end of last year until the beginning of this year, in the province of Hunan, in the city of Changsha, we held an exhibition of food products from Bashkortostan, and I have to say that the majority of those products which were represented, they were from Russia. And I have to say that, for example, sunflower seeds and honey, they were highly demanded, and we very quickly sold that honey. One more comment. Our translator interpreted as samovar, but as I understand, by samovar, you mean a procedure of preparing a hot pot. Yes, it's what was meant was a hot pot. When you have the water boiling and you put water, Chinese hot pot was meant, right? Yes, actually, yes. It's a very interesting thing, and many people love it. And indeed, it's those of you who have visited China many times, they love. It's quite spicy. There is spicy sauce used all over China. People love it. Especially, they love this food in the province of Sichuan, in the city of Changsha, Chunxin, and I have to say that they love spicy food, and there is a huge demand. Hobo is very high, and I'd like to say that it's. There are two types of beers which are very popular in China. There is Baltica, which is very popular in various regions of China, in Chunxin, in the city of Chunxin, and they use barley, also dark beer, lager beer, dark beer. That's what people usually love to have it with hobo. Well, you've mentioned Chinese dishes, Chinese cuisine. We're trying to lure, we're trying to invite people to go to China and try those food, those dishes, and then they will. Our task is to. We're trying by all means to develop our cooperation and invite people to come to China. Regarding Oriental Express, not only economy, but also we should mention tourism, so that our citizens could come to China, Chinese people could come to Russia. We are now working on direct flights. Diaz mentioned the train. Please don't be confused. This train is a freight train for containers. There is no still direct passenger train, but we will have a direct flight. We plan in August to open a direct flight Ufa-Urumqi, and then further we are working on developing an air route Ufa-Beijing. Chinese citizens, they are highly organized. If they go to some place, they go in groups. And so far, the most important destinations for group visits, Moscow, Kazan, these are our competitors. We always compete in beauty, in architecture, and hospitality. I wish we could arrange group tours to China and vice versa, and I'm sure that small business will get involved. I'm sure we will have more Chinese restaurants. We will have new recreational spaces, hotels, and people of China visiting Ufa, Bashkortostan. They will spend their money here, and I'm sure that our tourists will begin traveling to China. There is a lot to see. The recorded history alone is 5,000 years old. We have just visited one of the museums of China. It takes 8 days. You need 8 days to see all the exhibits in the Chinese National Museum. There is a lot to share. There is a lot to learn. Economy is important, but also let's not forget about culture. Mr. John C. promised us 50 students, exchange students. How do you think, when is this going to happen? Well, I'm writing everything down, so I will remember everything. Yes, it works in the following way. Actually, in Beijing, in March, we talked about this, and we said that, of course, we actively and efficiently cooperate, and I have to say that except for Moscow region, we actively cooperate with Bashkortostan and with our colleagues in Ufa State Petroleum University, and we formed certain relations. We hope that students from Ufa State University could go to China to study Chinese language, and also they could go to have their internships in China. So there are only 15 of them so far from the province of Sichuan, and they, in the province of Sichuan, part of them study Chinese language, Ufa students. Some of them work in Pushkin Institute, and I have to say that, first of all, we've managed to resolve their housekeeping issues. Some daily routine and housekeeping aspects. Also, I have to say that now we are in the province of Sichuan, we're building ice cream factory, and we need engineers who could help, and technicians. In the city of Chengdu, we need, I don't know if some of you have visited Chengdu, those of you who are present here. I would like to say that initially we bought 180,000 packs of ice cream, and since ice cream is very popular, we would like to build our own ice cream factory. And I have to say that our enterprise, our company, is specifically involved in high-tech products. And in particular, I mean, our company, it's an international trading company, Sen-E. They picked this name by the state, and the goal is to interact actively with our Bashkir colleagues to develop this cooperation, to promote production and scientific interaction between our companies. We may work in a bunch of various areas. Yes, Mr. Jansi mentioned internships. Language is very important. It's the main means of communication between people, Bashkortostan and China. So cooperation of people without the knowledge of the language, it's as if two deaf and mute people talking. And Russian is quite a complicated language. All of us, for a Chinese person, it might be hard. Also for us, the Russians, it's quite difficult to learn Chinese. But again, I would like to open a secret, tell you a secret. For the people of Bashkir nationality, it's a little bit easier. If you say in Chinese, Nishi Lao Shima, it's the same in Bashkir. You should add ma is a question word. So in Chinese, in Russia, we have same question word. It sounds like ma. So the representatives of our republic, if you know Bashkir, it's easier for you to learn Chinese. And also, I would like to add, in Russian, we have we have prepositions on the table, in the tree, and in Bashkir and Turkic there are post, bashtatam. In Chinese and Bashkir they have post prepositions, post positions. In Russian we have prepositions, and in Bashkir and Chinese there are post positions. It's a joke, but every joke has truth in it. Learn Chinese. I encourage you to learn Chinese. It's in second place in terms of popularity. Maybe it's already in place number 1 while we are talking. The most popular brand of ice cream is 300 rubles. Our ice cream is 10 times less in terms of price. It's a very small package, but it's very expensive. Russian ice cream is much cheaper. And also I would like to add that in Chinese the word cold was derived from the Russian word means the same. They mean the same. Dear colleagues, our Oriental Express is moving on, and we have our drivers, and we have VIP passengers in our audience. Every VIP passenger has a word, may vote where to guide our train. Any comments, any questions, we will be very happy to listen to you. Please raise your hand, and you may come up here on the tribune, or you may speak from the floor. Yes, I see a hand raised. Please come up to us.
It seems like he wants to sell his honey in China. You can press the button there and represent yourself. We know you, but everyone needs to know you. Good day, dear colleagues. Ni hao to our guests. My name is Sergey Mulukov, a group of companies, Bashkir. We are the biggest representatives. We produce a lot of honey, and I am the 5th grade producer of honey, and we are exclusive suppliers to the Kremlin and to state authorities. Concerning China, we have one detail. We had an opportunity to cooperate. We supplied our products to China, and it was successful, and we had many orders, and we had our people who bought our products, and we adopted our brand for the China's market, but we had problem. Some companies started to copy us. They copied both of our brands, and the first brand we successfully returned, and the second, unfortunately, we haven't. And I see that in China there is a different system of patents, and my intellectual property and the intellectual property of the Republic of Bashkortostan is now for somewhere in China, and I know that the patent rights started to improve, and we see that there is an opportunity to return our brand back, and could we return to the China's market and cooperate with you? Thank you. I can answer to this question. I would like to say a few words. Speaking of China, we have trade chambers and associations, and all trademarks that you create there. And we also have the intellectual property protection. So your brands should contact these organizations, and if these are real state authorities and your marks, your trademarks are state marks, they will receive protection. If not, if there are brands that are copying others, then unfortunately they will not. They will be prosecuted and they will not be sold in China. So the Communist Party of China wants to give the opportunity to the peoples of China to create a great life, to live a great life, and each mark, each authority should work hard on the well-being of people. And you should actually do it and give help, to provide help. Speaking of the intellectual property and the rights, we have laws, we have measures, we are improving it, and we solve all the problems, and we do hope that more and more high-quality honey will be exported to China. Thank you. These words were very helpful, and within 5 recent years I've been in China for 20 times, and I see that this sphere is developing, and at first, on market and in shops, I saw some famous brands, Louis Vuitton and others, and everything you want, Adidas, Reebok, and you could buy everything. Now, China doesn't have it. There are no illegal goods, and you will not see it in any shops. I would like to say to those who came right now, please come, please sit. Many people have come from China, and feel free to join us. I would like to say that those marketplaces have, if they place a product, if you place a product, the marketplace can help you, the administration can help you, and there are a lot of restrictions to those who copied. Of course, there are some fake products on marketplaces, but they do not survive there, and the administration deletes it. The administration finds the solution and blocks these accounts and implies many penalties, and China fights with this too. You're welcome. The mic, please. Good day. Can you hear me? Yes. Good day. Ni hao. Dear colleagues, my name is Victor. I am the chairperson of the Meat Association. There are a lot of associations that are building milk factories for producing milk. And I know that the production of milk in China increases. I know that the limits in territory is a difficulty, and in the Republic of Bashkortostan we have an opportunity to
называемый полуфабрикат, который очень может быть востребован в Китае, называется сырный полуфабрикат
recycle and
из которого в дальнейшем делают продукты на территории уже страны, куда он будет
and it
экспортирован.
helps to make the final product in the country it was exported to. So we also want to produce some interesting products. We would like to find the opportunity till the end of the session to speak with Changhui in order to organize this business and a short way. Thank you very much. We will definitely help you to negotiate privately, and if you will place your wish to the trade representative, we will definitely help you. Speaking of some foodstuffs and export and import to China, there are 82 limits concerning trade groups and supplies to China. Those are some limits concerning producing meat, milk, etc. And if we speak about the cooperation with China, we should look closely to those requirements, to those high requirements of China, so that you could enter the China's market. Concerning honey, the People's Republic of China has also some limits concerning antibiotics, and the product should be clean. Since you represent the Meat Association, I would like to tell you that China is the country where people love meat. We've recently visited the exhibition. The colleagues are in here, and many pavilions were with the meat, and Chinese people can cook a lot of products from meat. I haven't eaten meat before, but in China you cannot deny it. We have offers from China to buy meat, and we would like to support you. We are happy to support you in cooperation with China. Any more questions, dear colleagues? Yes, please. The mic, please, the mic. No, you should turn it on. Hello, dear colleagues. Emil Serengarev, Восток. I would like to say a few words to this discussion. China is a very welcoming country, and I would like to speak about the Chinese education. School children and the graduates of the university have 500 grants for entering the Chinese universities. 1 year you learn the language, then you pass HSK, and then you study in the top universities of China, and you also get a scholarship. Soon, the representative of the university comes to Ufa and will speak about it. And we consult the entrepreneurs who want to enter the Russian market. China is very welcoming country, and we have returned from China recently. We went to the exhibition in Xiao, and our minister Ilshat Ildusovich was impressed with those things he saw, and I'm sure that the cooperation will increase and Bashkir representatives will go on the Chinese market. And it's the first step to enter the market. And firstly, the first thing you need to do is to wish for entering the market, because it's not an easy way. It's the difference in mentality, different laws, and many limits. But I would like to say that those who want, they get it. So I would like to invite the interpreters in here to invite them to China, and there are some algorithms how to do it, and I'm sure we will make a thematic stands made in Bashkortostan. Chinese people, those who visited the negotiations, they know that they say, what do you have? We will get everything. We will buy everything. It's strange, but that's true. We have a unique opportunity to exchange those products that we've lost from Europe, and we have an opportunity to substitute those products with the products from China. And please feel free, don't be afraid, meet Chinese businessmen, and we have all the instruments to improve, and we have the support of trade representatives and other associations, and we have a lot of specialists who can consult and direct small businesses. And dear meat producer, I also encourage you to join the Chinese exhibitions. We make a schedule of exhibitions, and we want you to place your products there, and there will be a lot of support from trade representatives. Thank you very much. I support my dear colleague concerning the exhibitions. And recently, when we had to recover supplies of equipment and some spare parts, the first stage was last year in April, and everyone needed to buy everything in China. It's impossible to buy everything from China, and we had some calls from entrepreneurs, and they wanted to buy this and that. It is hard for a person in China with a huge population and who has business, for example, and the gross domestic products are different in China and Russia. And how to do it? It's very hard. So one of the effective ways to find new context is the exhibition. Why? Because if you are a businessman, you come to the exhibition and you see many different business partners, and the exhibition places legal businesses and those who have money for exhibitions, and you can be almost 100% sure you can cooperate with them, and within a few days you can cooperate, you can go to the factory to make an agreement and return to Russia to work on it a little more and cooperate. During the exhibition, you can contact different tour agencies, and you can easily do it yourself. There are many websites where you can buy tickets. We don't have any limitations concerning COVID. We don't have to wear masks. China is waiting for our business partners. I would also like to say that I'm interested in the business of our businessmen. How did you survive COVID? With limits. Firstly, it was hard because we couldn't go to China and the gates were closed, and after 3 years everything is recovering. When the gates opened, we entered China and started working. Speaking of meat products and the plate with boiled products, and the most popular is chicken and stomach, and the problem is that we don't have byproducts, and that's the problem. I think this can be a very successful business. As far as I remember, somewhere in Yekaterinburg or Chelyabinsk, there is something like this, organized by small entrepreneurs. Thank you. Thank you very much. Elena Izotova, I have the question. When I speak with Chinese entrepreneurs, when we speak about export and import, do you support export from Russia? I say yes. I don't know that much, but you are a professional. Could you say a few words, please? How do we support our products from the Republic of Bashkortostan?
Yes, Fleur, I can say that our companies and enterprises, they will support me here, that we are the region, which are not many, which allocates our companies with subsidies. Since 2019, we've been allocating subsidies to refund transportation expenses for SMEs to compensate. Before, we were compensating 80%, starting from last year 90%, but not more than 9 million rubles. So a company may apply several times, and they may obtain a maximum of 9 million annually to compensate their transportation expenses, both inside Russia and abroad, any type of transport. This year, we will also give out subsidies for international certification. We will compensate 80%, but not more than 2 million. And our subsidy is export cashback. If a company exports, it may obtain money through foreign economic contract, and we gave 10% from the income, but not more than 3 million annually. So we support our exporters for them to export more. We assist them regarding the finance. Also, we have a center for the export support, which also compensates subsidies for transportation expenses, not more than 500, and trans subsidies for international certification. Also, we have a very good export ambulance, export fast train. We have a car, we have a vehicle. We've been in Hyberinsky district. We visited 7 companies and enterprises where we educate them what is export, how to go to export, what is needed, and where to apply to, what is the application process. It might be very hard for small citizen towns in Bashkortostan to get to know about those aids, and we help to find an exporter, and up to the point of concluding a contract for foreign economic export. We actually guide them through the whole process from the starting point up to the finishing point. what is needed also. In Trans-Urals now we have a platform for B2B talks, so our home companies and foreign companies are kindly invited to have B2B talks. We have one of our colleagues from the Center of Export Support and from the Ministry of Foreign Economic, and we have Renat Manyapov. Could you please raise for everyone to see you? He is a representative of a Russian Export Center. He will, please come up to him. He will tell you what kind of tools, what kind of aids they have. I have already received a couple of applications on my phone to talk to our prospective exporters in B2B mode, and we will begin implementing that after the session. Mr. Lee, a question to you. In China, I have visited many enterprises and plants, and I was surprised. Whenever you come, you see a huge building, workshops, but there is nobody outside. Nobody is smoking, nobody at the entrance sitting at a bench. And it seemed to me that those buildings are empty. But once you go in, the whole 1,000 people are sitting at the machines and working, and very, very concentrated. Nobody paid attention to guests, working hard in a diligent manner, and it looks great. When I talked to the owner, I said, how did you manage to build such a greenfield project? Well, I made an application to the Department of Commerce of a province or a city. It was approved. I was allocated with some funds to lay the road from the budget to route to utilities, power. I build my own building and I pay taxes, and I have to be efficient. If in a certain period of time I don't work well, then the government may claim all the expenses. But if I'm doing my work good, and the government assists, that's why I'm interested in working efficiently. It's great. In Bashkortostan, Russian Federation, we have such measures of support and subsidies to build infrastructure, to compensate some expenses. We also have that. We learn from each other. And my question is, Mr. Lee, regarding international cooperation, as it's your main scope of work, for example, between Russia and China, is there any exact support? Can you mention any particular tools, maybe some subsidies for the companies of China when they work with certain countries? Well, first of all, we're interested in Russia, of course. Now, what you've mentioned about stomachs, beef stomachs, those byproducts, I love them myself. Regarding passing through the customs and sanitary and plant control, might be questions. There might be bacteria, some elements which may be hazardous, which you are not able to liquidate them. So there is a saying that one rat, if it falls in a pot of soup, it destroys the whole soup. For example, if in your lot, if you have one stomach which is infected, we will not be able to accept the whole batch. We need some technical measures. We need some plant and bacterial control. And regarding export of beef byproducts, for example, stomachs. So I suggest you use semi-finished products which were treated for bacteria. So if you want to ship to China, we are eager to help you. We will assist in all the ways. But you just talked about vegetable oil. We need about 1 million tons. And we need a certain support here, except for regarding the products, for example, petroleum products, we don't only need crude oil, but we also need petroleum products, which we are ready to purchase in huge amounts. So if we intend to develop our relations in a complex manner, and we are ready to support all the exporters who are ready to work in the given market. And we can facilitate R&D, we can promote R&D activities, which will be a part of our economic and trade cooperation. We should analyze demands from both sides, and there is such a thing as there is a famous artist who knows that I will participate. In 2 or 3 days, he drew a picture, what we call an outstanding. He depicted our economic forum, and this painting that he drew, I would like to present it to you. It was drawn by my friend. So here we would like to tell you about this particular masterpiece, work of art. And so please, could you please switch on the video, which tells about this? Could we have the presentation, please, the video? Please zoom in. Bring it to full screen. This painter, his name is Taiwei Jun, and he cooperates with many major Russian painters. He's permanently discussing the work, the questions, the issues of art, and we have many points of contact. We'll learn from each other in many ways. And you may see in this one of his works. He uses gold to draw as a material for his works of art, and he has a patent which you may see. His unique technology is legalized through the patents. You've mentioned honey and about some complexities with the trademark, with copying. Actually, you can secure your copyright through patents. Every year, we see new technologies in China. We see all kinds of types of machinery and techniques, and it is done on a regular basis. So here you can see some of the Russian managers who are enjoying the pictures of our master, of our craftsman. These are his personal works. The famous story of 4 horses is depicted in the picture. I think you saw one of them. It's a sacred mountain, an image of a sacred mountain, holy mountain, and as you can see, it's quite hard to use gold. Phoenix, Nirvana, and you can see the golden tiger climbing up a mountain. Here, this is a hawk bird. This is Madonna, and also this is a belt one belt, one road, a picture, a route. And this craftsman, it took him 3 days and 3 nights to complete this work. And he dedicated this to friendship between our countries. And it's a gift which demonstrates sincere and pure love. I would like to present it to our trade representative as a sign of friendship between our countries. Here you can see that on top, one belt, one road. This is the slogan, and through the development of the initiative of One Belt, we demonstrate our peace-loving intentions and desire to develop together. We are absolutely sure that we are 100% will be able to achieve a result which was set by our leaders of our countries, and we will continue developing in the mood of our traditional friendship. And let's give a round of applause to our future fruitful, bilaterally advantageous cooperation. Also, thank you very much, Mr. Lee, for your warm words, for your gift, for your present. This present will go to our Republic, representing me. I'm sure we will work hard, trying to come to life everything that we have planned. Looks like we're approaching the end of the session. I would like to give an announcement. At 12 o'clock, we're going to have a very interesting session called Marketplace Chinese Style, 1 million consumers, how to sell your made in Bashkortostan product in China. We will have a representative of Sunrise Company who works in China. They have 5 million subscribers. They have their own warehouses. Any kind of Bashkir goods, they can sell them to China, delivered to every home, any threshold, any door. We will ask questions. We will have our representative of Export Support Center. He will tell us how to sell goods in China and in Russia. Everyone is welcome. 12 o'clock in 25 minutes here in the same hall. Dear colleagues, huge thanks to our mega super interesting speakers. I think many of you had a lot they could contribute from, and yes, you may come up to the tribune. Dear colleagues, I will speak Russian. I would like to continue the subject of education, which was mentioned by our Russian colleague. Indeed, in China, we give very good conditions for foreign students, including Russian students. It's very important to know Chinese language, because yesterday we had a situation. We were kept in Sheremetyevo airport for 3 hours for a very simple question. We indicated incorrectly in the system almost the list of all the guests of a Chinese delegation. We were kept there for 3 hours because of that mistake. You are kindly invited to learn Chinese language, to learn from us. By the way, I'm an official representative of a province, Chanzu, in Russia. Briefly, what we do, we have about 15% of the total products manufactured in China is manufactured in our province. Also, about 16% of goods exported from China is done by Jiangsu province. Last year, the total trade of Jiangsu was equal to more than $800 billion. Jiangsu has about 158 universities with 2 million students. We have 118 academicians in Jiangsu province. We have good schools. Most important, we are very hospitable, people are very hospitable, tasty food and great landscapes, natural and historical. And I'm not alone here. We have also our young people from Moscow, from Jiangsu. They are sitting next by here. Could you please raise and greet everyone? If you have any questions regarding equipment, construction, building, education, you can come up to them. I think, dear colleagues, please stand up and greet. We would like to thank the organizers for your meet and greet activities, for assisting us in transfer from the airport, for meeting us at the airport. Many thanks to organizers and volunteers. I would like to tell you, please learn Chinese language. It's very important. Otherwise, they will keep us for 6 hours in the airport. Thank you so much. Thank you. Dear colleagues, I would like to introduce, this was Diainke, the head of trade, representative office of Jiangsu province, PRC in CIS. They have an office in Moscow, and their employees know Russian. You can communicate, you can greet them. Jiangsu, it's a very well-developed province, I'm sure. Thank you so much. See you in 20 minutes. Thank you.